Hi, this is Osman. I'm an energy healer, yoga meditation teacher, and an entrepreneur. And today I'd like to talk on a very popular topic on why should one meditate, right? So, of course, there are a lot of reasons. And if you go online, you'll see many scientific proofs on the reasons why you should meditate. But I don't want to delve into that type of topic because that is easily accessible to you. But I want to give you an answer from my personal perspective, from my experience, and the experience or the most prominent benefits from the experience of my students that I've been teaching over the decades. So, from my personal, experience, I would say one of the things that attracted me to meditation the most was the magical aspects or the potential to experience magic. So when we studied it and you're reading the theory that people who advanced in meditation, they can hear voices and they can see visions, and then they can get magical powers. They call them siddhis, and to be able to levitate. And they give examples of those people who had that gift, to become smaller than the smallest creature, or grow in size into a giant. And as a child, when we started studying yoga scientifically and learning these things became fantastic, and of course sparked interest, right? So this is from a perspective from the time when I originally started studying yoga meditation seriously. And over the decades, of course, I at no stage experienced 99%, I would say, of all the magic that I anticipated and I wanted to experience. um, I'm not saying that this is not possible, but I haven't experienced them in my personal experience, nor did I meet anyone that I knew of that exposed uh, such abilities, other than some of the magical aspects that I did experience is, the ability to transcend the various layers of your physical existence, transcend into the mind level and into the superior intelligence level, or opening of the third eye. So the biggest magical experience, I would say, is the opening of the third eye, that it's actually like an eye. So to explain that part to you, I think that would be interesting. So what happened is, I'm been trying various types of meditation, and was eventually getting it right. And the first experience, magical experience, was when I finally got the technique right. And it took me, it's I think about 2 decades to get the technique right, and to know exactly what steps to follow. And I felt the withdrawal of my senses, where a sense of calm starts to fill up from the toe upwards, up to the neck, and lose consciousness of the sensations of your body from your neck downwards. And that seemed magical, like your body disappears, so to speak. And the next magical experience that I had is when you're focusing in meditation, practicing open eye meditation, right? So in open eye meditation, one of the techniques is to focus your sight, your eyes, on a point. So normally they used to put a small light, right, or a little flame that you just look at that and stare at it at a fixed gaze, and a blank stare, right? So I remember that we say just a blank stare, not look or think too much into it, just blank, but fixed, keeping your eye. When your eye is fixed and not moving, then your mind also tends to be, fixed. And boom, lights. I start to see different color lights. The first color light, I felt like I was enveloped, like someone took off the globe and put on a yellow globe. So everything around me turned yellow, right? And then and that seemed amazing, because it wasn't only the color, but it seemed like I went into a different medium, that everything felt softer. It's like I was in a thicker medium, it felt like that. And I was feeling peaceful, and it was like a very pleasant, calm, tranquil feeling, right? And I continue every time I used to meditate, and when I get fixed and a little bit calm, the light used to appear, the yellow color. And I used to enjoy that until, as I progressed, with the practice, and not very long, within, I would say, a few days, right? That light progressed to a deep golden color, right? Like a rich golden color. So it became like a darker yellow, right? Like a mustard color, right? And then it seemed like it didn't just gradually, it just changed, it transitioned and changed color, right? And it was a completely different color, like a dark gold color. And the third color after that, within a few days, was a red color. So it didn't just, like when I went to meditate, go on what it progressed in this order: first yellow, then golden, then red. And it stayed forever, for a while in the red color, until one fine day it turned into a powder blue color, right? And that, when it turned to a powder blue color, I felt so peaceful and so balanced. And it's like really truly amazing. And it was a powder blue, like a sky blue, like everything. And it felt so pleasant. And for the life of me, I did not know what these colors were. And whoever asked and so forth had no explanation, for it. And nor did I learn what these colors were in the theory of yoga that I was studying. And I couldn't, tie it down until, later I continued and I experienced a green color, right? And the green color was absolutely, it felt amazing as well. And then I started to, research more on, because you must know, these were days when there were no such thing as internet. You have to know that when I was born, there was no such thing as television in my country, right? Television first came to my country when I was already about 7 years old, right? 7 or 8 years old was the first time there was such a thing as television. So I'm coming from way back in the olden days. So research for knowledge, and I'm not from the Asian subcontinent. I'm from Africa, from South Africa. So there, people are not into yoga and meditation. So I didn't have access to people who were practicing this to explain this to me as well, because I was learning whatever I could learn from books originally, right? And books that were imported, from other countries. So eventually I understood that these colors were as the different chakras activated. And that's when I start to become more mindful. I didn't notice the indigo color, because it felt like a dark color, like darkness descending, right? And I do not recall the purple or violet color. I didn't recall experiencing that, perceptibly, but I did recall experiencing when I used to see these colors come up. I used to with my eyes open, take my finger and put it around, and I could feel like all different color, like rainbow color lights hitting my finger, like my finger, as though there was like this in a disco, if some of know what a disco is, a nightclub, right? I think that's more a nightclub where they have this round ball in a nightclub, like a full of glass or mirror pieces, and as it turns, they flash a light into it, and the entire room starts to have multicolors of lights that are swirling around, right? So when I pushed my hand around, it was like multicolored lights, right? So those were some of, it seemed magical to be able to experience that. And at the time, I didn't know what it was. Of course, it's the activation of the different chakras. And depending on what color you see, it's that particular chakra, right? And then experiencing, of course, the opening of the third eye. And I think I'll explain that in the next video, okay? And take care, and I hope you felt entertained by this conversation. If you want more information about my services and all that we do, or to be able to contact me, especially for energy healing, or if you have a serious illness, or a trauma case that needs urgent attention to, you may contact me through my website, yogawellness786.com. And also please remember that our therapies and treatments are not a replacement for medical treatment. Any illness that you may have, please all consult your medical professional or your doctor. And these are complementary or additional lifestyle related and ancient sciences related methodologies that is here to support and add value to current existing medical practices, and not a replacement for it.